Hello, everyone. My guest today is Stanislav Dimitrov. He's building a browser extension that enables dark mode. And one of the founders, a company called NightEye, is one of the founders. It's a browser extension that works on nearly any website. Now, he finished his master's in marketing in 2014 and headed back home to join his family business at Printing House. But the family business was and still is a big part of his life, but tech in general has always fascinated him, and he wanted to start this side venture. Luckily, a couple of months after he came home one night, he met the current co-founders of his company, NightEye, and they're all around 25 years old, looking to build this tech company from the ground up based in Bulgaria. Stan, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what is NightEye? It's a Chrome extension?
Yes, it is a Chrome extension, but in general, it's a browser extension that works on nearly any website, and it's available on pretty much all major browsers that are out there in the market. Chrome, Chromium, Firefox, Safari, Edge, the old Edge, the new Edge, pretty much we are everywhere. But we started with the Chrome, yeah.
Okay, and how do you make money?
Basically, we have an annual subscription. We have one time off, so it's a lifetime license. And we have a free version called NightEye Lite, but we make money from the first two, of course.
Okay. And how many customers do you have today?
Currently, we have around 4,500 customers, and we have around 100,000 users.
Okay, 100,000 users and 4,500 customers. Of the 4,500 customers, how many are on the $9 a year recurring plan?
Oh, well, approximately 60% go for the $9, and the rest go for the purchase, for the lifetime purchase.
Okay, so about 2,500 are paying you sort of $9 per year. So you guys, in terms of just recurring revenue, you're doing about $2,000 a month?
2.5, 2.7, depending on the month. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the thought process behind offering a lifetime plan that is equal to about 5 years worth of your yearly price.
Well, there were two main reasons. The first one was that surprisingly, some of the users, the early adopters, actually asked for that. We never planned to offer it. And then we went for exactly calculating, like, we think that the browser extension that enables dark mode should be trendy, let's say, for about 5 years. So this is how we calculated the pricing for the lifetime in order to serve the people that really want it. But we never expected that many people to go for the purchase because it's a bit more expensive,
Yeah, I mean, but you have 2,000 people that paid $40 one time, so that's $80,000 in additional revenue.
Correct.
What do you guys use that money on?
Well, basically, we stack it. We put it in the bank, and we don't use it.
How many of you guys are there?
We are 4 currently, but only 2 of us work on this side project like part-time, and we have the third member is just working on the Safari because it's completely different story there with the Safari extension and the macOS app. Yeah, but mostly we're 2 people working part-time on it.
Okay, so there's 2 people part-time, 1 working on Safari, but where's the 4th?
No, he doesn't work on the project. Basically, our company before launching NightEye was, and still is to some extent, a service company. So basically, we develop projects for other customers. And we started NightEye because one of the developers just needed a dark mode extension. He couldn't find one that is really, really good. And we just said, okay, let's do it. And we'll push it to the market. And surprisingly, took off.
What's the website that you guys do agency work through?
It's razorlabs.com.
Razor Labs. Okay. So interesting. And it's essentially a web development agency?
Correct.
You said razorweb.com?
Razor Labs.
Oh, Labs. Razorlabs.com.
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah.
And so how do you split your time between the Chrome extension, razorlabs.com, and your family's business?
It really depends on the season, to be honest, because the family business is mostly intensive between September and December. So this is where I put most of my efforts. And for the rest of the year, NightEye doesn't take that many hours per day. Probably, I don't know, probably per week, it's no more than 30 hours max, which is not that much, to be honest with you.
Have you guys bootstrapped the company or do you raise capital?
Yeah, we bootstrapped it.
That's great. So the money you guys, I mean, how do you pay it out, right? A lot of people build these side hustles, they make some money and there's 2 or 3 founders and then they have to figure out, well, what do we do with the money? Do we just pay ourselves each equally? Do we leave it in the business? What do you do with it?
Currently, we are leaving it in the business, but probably at some point we will just pay out. We are 4 equal founders of the company, so it's, yeah.
You each own 25%?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Got it. How, I mean, there's one guy that you said is not involved with the company at all. Would he get part of the payout or she or no?
Sure. Our team has been together for like, 5-6 years already. So we're perfectly fine with that.
When did you launch the NightEye? What year?
Basically, we launched it in May 2018, but we launched it like completely free. And then we started accepting payments in beginning of 2019. So basically from 2018 to 2019, we just offered it completely for free.
So have you had year renewals come up yet or no?
Yes.
So what's the retention rate annually? How many renew?
Basically, we see around 13 to 14% people are canceling the subscription.
Each year.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a pretty high retention rate, actually. For this price point, you retain about 86% of your customers.
Yeah, but it's not that high because it's like $9 per year. It's not per month, which is, it's not that high. But to be honest with you, the extensions, people are not really used to paying for extensions. And it's quite strange because they would pay like $9 for Spotify per month, but $9 for dark mode, unacceptable. Yeah.
What, I mean, it's not easy to get 100,000 users. How did you grow the business? How did you get 100,000 users?
Purely from SEO. So basically we write articles, we research keywords and we write articles, and we got a bit lucky with the trend rising, mostly because of the Apple that they introduced the dark mode in 2018. So we just rode the wave.
So what keywords do you rank really high for? Like what is your most valuable keyword?
Well, they're changing constantly, to be honest with you. For probably a year or so, we were at top for Facebook dark modes. But then they launched it internally. So they launched it and we just dropped. Then I think also Amazon dark mode, eBay dark mode, Gmail dark mode, like pretty much all of them. But they change depending on the searches and depending on if some of the big tech media outlets actually write an article about that.
Yeah, I mean, you get about 12,600 organic clicks from search each month. Your top keyword is Amazon dark mode. You're in the first position for that. You get about 1,000 clicks per month from that. So you've essentially written topics on all these. Now, did you actually write or new content for each of these, or did you like systematically launch a bunch of landing pages where you just basically plugged in big tech company like Amazon plus the keyword dark mode?
We tried both approaches. But essentially writing the blog post and posting it just outranked everything else. The automatic stuff, it didn't work for us.
Yeah. So your biggest ones are Amazon dark mode, Google Drive dark mode, Twitch dark mode, and Facebook night mode.
Yeah.
Really interesting. What is your process? I mean, a lot of people try and do SEO. Very few people do it well. What's your process look like on a monthly basis? Like, does your team sit down for an hour each month, look at new keywords and like Ahrefs and then figure out what to go after? Or walk me through how that machine works.
Basically, I'm the one who's doing that. I'm responsible for the SEO and for the marketing and for the growth. I'm using SEMrush, SEM Rush as a tool, and it's a fantastic tool. Basically, it takes me like, I don't know, probably 2 hours per week to research the topics. And at the beginning, I was writing the articles, but then I started using Fiverr to outsource them because it's far cheaper for me personally.
So what do you pay for a SEO optimized article?
It really depends on the writer, but currently I'm buying bulk. So basically, I'm buying 25, 50, or 100 articles, and it's around $4, something like that.
Okay. I mean, how do you make sure that the writer writes it in a way that matches the keywords you want to rank for?
Oh, I have to go through them. So basically, I edit them if there's a need for that. So it's not a completely outsourced process. Yeah.
I see. And how do they make that work? I mean, 100 articles, if they're even 500 words, right? I mean, that is 5,000 words for basically, what is that, $400? I mean, how do they do that?
Honestly, I don't know.
Can I ask which country, like what country are they in?
Recently, I found a person who says that is in the US and is a native speaker, and yeah, he charges me like $5 per article, and they're really, really well written. So I was surprised, but most of them are either from India or Pakistan or yeah.
Interesting. Would you be willing to share his name with me after we're done?
I don't think so, man.
Why? You don't want me to use him, and then he doesn't want to work with you anymore?
Because I think he has family, and usually for him to write the articles, it takes like 3 to 4 weeks. I'm fine with that, but yeah, I think he's
3 to 4 weeks to write 100 articles.
No, 3 to 4 weeks to write 50 articles.
Oh, okay. That's incredible. So I mean, he's writing like two to three articles a day.
Yeah, 500 words each.
Yeah, interesting. And then what? What's the process? He writes them. He sends them to you on Fiverr. How does he send them to you? A document or what?
Yeah, he sends them an archive, like with all articles, and I ask him to send me a screenshot that he didn't copy pasted something from the internet. And each article is in a separate folder, and I just go through them, read them, edit them.
In Google Drive?
No, he just sends them like in Fiverr. They just need to upload some sort of file.
What's the file? That's what I'm asking. What's the file?
It's a zip file.
But is it like in Word?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Word doc. So he uploads a Word. He types it in Word, zips it up, uploads to Fiverr. You then download it and put it in WordPress or what?
Yeah, WordPress.
And then how do you make sure, like, what do you do in WordPress to scan it to make sure that the SEO is done, the H1 tags are correct, all that?
I'm doing that manually.
You don't use any tools like Yoast inside of WordPress?
No, I stopped using Yoast. I mean, I've been doing that for quite a bit now, so I don't see that much of a value. What I usually do is after I publish, for example, each week I push our blog through SEMrush to see if there are any mistakes in the links, broken links, and stuff like that. But I don't use.
All right, Stanislav, good stuff. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I guess Tim Ferriss, and also Jocko Willing.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your company?
SEMrush.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Around 6.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married with 1 kid who is under one year.
Very good. And how old are you?
I'm 30.
30. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I guess just to be more patient and just to keep my head down and work and don't expect everything to happen just like that.
Guys, Razor Labs is their agency. From that, they spun out a SaaS tool called nighteye.app. They charge $9 a year, so super low ARPU, but really high volume. 2,000 people pay $9 for the year. Another 2,500 have paid $40 one time to use the tool forever. So about 5x their annual price, or about $80,000 in total revenue. They've bootstrapped this. It's just 3 of them. It's a side project doing very, very well. They get most of their new users. They have 100,000 users from SEO and SEO process, which you'll learn about in this episode. Stanislav, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.